I'd like to invite Keith over here to just say a few words about his exhibit.
Thank you, Marcia. A few words?
All night.
Making photographs is as essential a part of my being as breathing or eating. It is one of the necessary functions of living. My constant desire to make photographs is actually the urge within me to capture a moment of time of my world, just as I open my eyes to give substance to my sight. A photograph should be the expression of a photographer's complex personality. Study the works of every great photographer and you will find every aspect of the photographer's personality and background in his photographs. Time may change the technique of photography, but it can never alter its mission. Photography must first and foremost be loved. It must come from the heart, and it must be direct. Otherwise, it cannot hope to be a lasting, indestructible art. In 1941, Rachmaninoff described his music in a very similar way. And when I came across his quote, it struck a chord, and I discovered my meaning of passion. Passion, strong emotion, a strong enthusiasm. I am passionate about my photography. Ever since being handed an old camera from my dad about 30 years ago, photography has been my true passion in life. My love of adventure and travel has always been coupled to my photography. I couldn't imagine exploring the world without my camera in tow. My camera motivates me to the higher peak, to travel greater distances. A sunrise or sunset, a landscape, a child's smile is so much more beautiful when my camera is by my side. I didn't ever imagine that anything could compete with my passion for photography until about 11 years ago. That is when I met my wife, Linda. Together with our 4 daughters, now and only now do I really understand passion. I am passionate about my family. The support and encouragement that Linda provides me never falters. Linda, a very talented and well-respected interior designer, has helped me with her creative eye to reach new heights in my photography. She has taught me the beauty in details. I now move a little closer, examining a part, not the whole, and the results are very, very satisfying. I think photography is like learning a language. At first you think so hard about every word, and then at some point those words simply become a part of you and roll off your tongue. After working very hard at it, my art is now a part of me. I'm finally fluent. Wow. Wow. And wow. This is exciting. To have an exhibit crossing not only our country, but also traveling south across to the US is quite an accomplishment for a photographer based in Winnipeg. But thanks to the terrific support and determination of Marcy Gibbs, Director of HI Manitoba, this dream of mine has become a reality. Thank you so much, Marcy, for everything you've done to make this happen. My goal with my photography is to share my work with others, especially sharing my work with others who have the same passion for travel and adventure as I do. Needless to say, Hostelling International Hostels provides me with the perfect venue. And before I go into a brief history of this exhibit and my relationship with Hostelling International, I would like to introduce to you my family. My wonderful, loving, 4 daughters, 3 of which who are sick with a cold at home. Asha is here. My sisters, Diane. They're the ones who really instilled in me the love of travel and adventure. My relationship with Hostelling International began several decades ago when I was a university student backpacking across Europe. Staying at a hostel made traveling on a budget doable and meeting new friends easy. I didn't have to rely on only my camera to keep me company. 6 years. 6 years ago, in 2003, Linda and my friend Alison Letourneau connected me once again to Hostelling International, a collection of images of people looking directly into the camera that Alison encouraged me to exhibit throughout Canadian hostels. The exhibit was called Faces, and it was tied into the HI campaign of peace and understanding. Then a few months ago, I received a call from Marcy, who asked me if I would be part of the open house to show the community Winnipeg's newest hostel. Marcy told me how my photos from the Faces exhibits were lining the corridors of the second floor. Now to backtrack a bit. On a family vacation 2 years ago in Costa Rica, I was speaking to the GM of the hotel where we were staying, who also had a keen interest in photography. He was showing me his photos taken on his world travels. He indicated to me that he'd been to over 70 countries. Wow, that's a lot. So Linda and I sat down and started to make a list of all the countries I had traveled to over the years. Well, I didn't win the country race, but I was not too far off at about 60 countries. Ever since, at the back of my mind, I somehow wanted to exhibit or display a collection of my work that would include just one photo from each country that I had visited. Well, from the back of my mind, quickly coming to the front of my mind during my discussion with Marcy about this year marking the 100th anniversary of Hostelling International, came the vision of this exhibit that you see here this evening, entitled Our World, People, Places, Cultures. Okay, 60 images may be a little excessive to travel across North America, so I narrowed it down to 25. So you may ask how I selected only one image from hundreds of photos that I've taken during my travels to a country. Well, it wasn't easy. Of course, I had my favorite images, but generally, I have many more than one favorite per country. When I travel, my favorite thing to do is, in some way, to connect to the people, to get to know and understand the people. And this is what hosteling is all about. As the HI mission statement clearly says, to help all, especially the young, gain a greater understanding of peoples, places, and cultures through hosteling. So it was that statement that helped me to select those images that would reflect the people, place, or culture of the country. I hope I succeeded. Thank you very much. Let me add, as you can imagine, every photo has a story behind it. So if anyone is interested in the stories behind any of the photos, just let me know. We could do it later, or we could do it now. I'll be happy to tell you my story of each photo. Any volunteers? Okay, we'll do it.
Come up with 2 minutes. Give us a few minutes.
Volunteers to do what?
Okay, I just have a couple other things I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank a couple of people who've helped Hostelling International Manitoba become what it is today. Hostelling came to Canada 75 years
For you to take home, it's a memento. It's one of the prints in the small size. The smaller prints could be used as a coffee coaster. It's protected. So when you leave, make sure you pick up your print, your gift. Thank you.
at the table.
At the print table. Any comments about the show?
It was unbelievable.
That means
You were
good.
amazing.
You were a comedian. The speech was. I thought it was hilarious. I thought your jokes just were the best.
Thank you.
Stop
So did I.
laughing.
So did I. One person laughed, that's good. Any comments? Any comments? It was great. Comments? Tara?
Very good.
Comments?
Tara.
Thumbs up. Very good. Okay. What's happening here?